In this video, we're going to have a look at the basic setup for your restaurant newsletter within your GetResponse account. So we're assuming you've already opened your GetResponse account. So this could be your free account, which is free forever until you've got over 500 subscribers. And what you'll need to do is, once that account has been opened, actually go and log into your account. And here I am on the dashboard of one of my GetResponse accounts. I have actually got a number of these because I run the email newsletters for a number of my clients within them. So I've got a few of these accounts. But your dashboard will look different to mine. I've obviously got some newsletters in here already set up. So yours will look different, but don't worry about that at all. The thing you'll want to do is create a new list for your restaurant or for your business. So what we're going to do is we're firstly going to click on lists at the top, and we are then going to create a new list because you haven't got one at the moment. So we create list. We then need to put a name for the list. This is a name that your contacts, your subscribers, will see when they actually join your list, and that is perfectly fine. Now what I'm going to do is create a demo list here for a made up restaurant, which I'm going to call Olivia Dining. So I'm going to call this list the Olivia Dining newsletter, and I'm then going to click create. That will then appear in your list. Obviously, if you haven't got any other lists here, it will just be at the very top of the list, but you'll need to actually find the correct one. There we are, Olivia Dining newsletter. Come into these three dots on the right hand side and then click on settings. So we go into settings there. And let's have a look at the things we need to do here. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly, but you can obviously look back at this video again if you want to do it, pause it and look at it slowly if you want to. So we've got list name we've already created, list title. Now this is probably for you going to be the same. So what I'm going to do is just create that and pop that in there. So it is just the title of the list. If you want to have a description in here, so it could be, this is the newsletter for customers of Olivia Dining in Cardiff, or wherever it may be. You can put in that in there, or you can leave it blank, whichever you prefer. I'm then going to click here and choose a category. As you see, I've already got restaurants and food selected. So you would just choose the relevant business type for your own business. So obviously Olivia Dining is a restaurant, so I'll click on there. Then you want to change the language if relevant. For me it's going to be English, so we'll leave that there. We then need to have the postal address, and this actually goes in the footer of every email that goes out. This is because it is a legal requirement that you need to have that in there. You'll probably, because you're promoting your business anyway, you'll no doubt have the address on there anyway, but this is a legal requirement to have it in the message footer. So that will already show it in a particular format. This will be from when you've opened your account, you'll actually put your address in there. If it isn't correct or it's the wrong format, so here it says Olivia Dining High Street and then it's got the postcode Cardiff, United Kingdom. If that's not correct, you can click this down arrow here and change to a different format. So an EU format, for example, will be a different way around, or you can go for a custom format. So for example here we've got what they call the zip code before the city. So what I could do is copy that, delete it, come after city and paste it in there. Let me have a comma as well. So if you come back up here now, you can see we've now got Olivia Dining High Street Cardiff, so it's the way we actually want that. So we can close it again there. Then at this point here you can actually drag in your logo for your business. And so you can either click on here and select a file from your computer, or you can actually drag the file across. So let me just find one on my computer. I'll click here. That opens up. Let me actually just find where I've put that. I then select that on my computer. Again, this is a logo I've just made up just for the purpose of this that we're doing here, and so it's actually dragged the logo into there. So you can see it just looks like that. As I say, this is not a real restaurant, it is one I've just made up for this demo. And then you would in here put a link to your website. So that would just be the link to Olivia Dining website, of which there isn't one, of course. So when you've done all those, we just save the general settings. Then you want to come back up to the top and go to the subscription setting here. Now you've got a couple of choices on here. The first one is, do you want to have, every time somebody subscribes to your newsletter, do you want to receive an email to tell you that somebody's subscribed? Initially, I would suggest when you first set up your newsletter, it's quite exciting and quite good to see that people are signing up for it. So what I would do is actually turn this on. You can select here an email address. It will have firstly the email address that you chose when you signed up for your account, but you can actually add other email addresses to that if you want to. So you could choose that. If you don't want to receive these, it's literally just an email saying so and so has signed up for your email address, and you get one of those each time somebody signs up. At any point you could come in here and actually turn that off if you wanted to change your mind, or you could decide now not to have that. You then need to decide whether you want to use what is called double opt-in. To quickly explain what that is, that means when somebody signs up for your newsletter, so say we've got a form on your website that says sign up for our newsletter, enter your email address and your name here. When they do that, if you want to go for double opt-in, they will then receive an email from GetResponse saying, we've just had this request to join this newsletter. Was it you? Do you agree? And they would then have to click a link in that email. So it's called double opt-in because they're effectively being asked twice if they want to sign up for the newsletter. Now, I've been running these newsletters for myself and for my restaurant clients and other businesses for over 15 years now. I have never used double opt-in, and it's never caused me a problem. The reason I don't use double opt-in is because the more hurdles you ask people to jump over, the less likely they are to do them, and the less people you will get into your newsletter list. Obviously, you want a lot of people to join your newsletter because you want to be able to send your information out to lots of people to tell them about your restaurant or your business. So for me, I have these turned off. These are off initially. If you wanted them on, you have to click on that, and that would then be on. And what you then need to do is come into this confirmation messages here and actually set up the message that is sent to them. I prefer to have those turned off. As I say, you'll need to make your own choice which you want to do. But if you are following me and not having them turned on, you just leave that as it is there, and that as it is there. You can also leave that as it is there as well. The next thing we want to do is look at a confirmation page. So this is when somebody signs up for your newsletter. Do you want them to see a message from GetResponse automatically? So that would look like, I can just preview it here. So it would look like this. So it would automatically just say Olivia Dining Cardiff. Obviously that would be your logo, the name of the person who's signed up, thank you for subscribing. This confirms that you have been added to this newsletter list, and it then has a link there to your website. So I generally use those because they're easy. If you wanted to though, the other option you've got is to click custom URL. And you could actually put, if you wanted to create, for example, a page on your own website that says, thank you very much for signing up for our newsletter list. click here to look at our menu, or click here to book a table or something like that. You could do that, so you could create a page on your own website with whatever information you wanted to. You then put the web address for that page in here, so you could just enter that in this box instead of the example.com here. So when somebody has then signed up for your newsletter, they will automatically be taken to that page to see your information. It's well worth doing if you have the time and you have the ability to do that on your website. If you don't know, then just leave it on the get response option and you'll see that the page that we just previewed. Other than that, these other options here on the page, you can just leave them as they are. We don't really need those. And you then want to click Save Subscription Settings. Coming back to the top, confirmation message. This is only necessary if you have used the subscription setting here and you've put this as double opt-in. If you're leaving it like me as what's called single opt-in, so we've not activated these, you don't need the confirmation messages at all. So that's it for all the basic setup for your newsletter. In the next video, we'll actually go in and create a template for your actual newsletter that you'll send out to your subscribers.